hope it doesn't get out of hands. Just to also let you know that we have a couple of segments for you in the course of the show today, just to make your Friday special, and of course that should extend into your weekend. So this is us giving you our word that you will get return on investment as far as the time you spend with us here today is concerned. So I was just going to talk about some of the big stories of the week. For instance, of course, we do know that the River State crisis has been, if you like, the star story,
yes, it has
so to say. But that has also raised questions about the way we politic in this country, right?
Yes, but it has to do with, if I could call Counter-Terrorism, that comes into play, and loyalty comes into play, and who you are actually loyal to basically comes into play. The side in which you're on just speaks volume for itself when it comes to River State. And I just don't want to mention any name, but you know what is actually playing out.
Right.
And some just willing to stand on their guard to just do the right thing. You know, following the law constitutionally, it's very important.
I think that's a part where there's often a challenge. The options of whether to stay with the rule of law or go the other way. I mean, for Nigerian politicians, it's more of interest. It's more of the optics. It's more of your ambition, exactly. So the rule of law can wait while I pursue my interests. But again, when that is not the case, when the odds are against us, we continue to shout the rule of law. But we must have, I know asking for an egalitarian society is near impossible, it's almost unrealistic. But we must have a system where everybody, no matter how highly placed or influential they are, must be subjected to the rule of law, right?
Well, unfortunately, you know, it doesn't play like that in Nigeria. We, you know, in court, people say Nigeria is a corrupt society. People say that because some people feel they are above the law, and they feel, well, hey, I know law must prevail, but really there are some people that actually act above the law.
It's interesting. We're just going to take a quick look at a few other issues for you in the course of the show this morning. But let's take a quick break now. When we return, we'll be joined by guests via Zoom live from Port Harcourt, River State capital, to help look at some of the topical issues we're focusing on this morning on the show.
and ewedu, amala and egusi, amala and gbegiri, amala and eforiro, amala and afang soup, amala and ogbono. Yes, you can add any of your choice because the list is never ending. Hello and welcome. It's Sharon Ajay on Taste and Texture. Today we are gonna be all about amala. Amala is a brown dough-like Nigerian meal made out of yam, cassava, or unripe plantain flour. It is a staple swallow food popularized by the Yoruba ethnic group of the southwestern Nigeria and other parts of the Yoruba land. There are 3 different types of amala based on their different sources. They include amala isu, also known as yam flour, amala ogede, also known as plantain flour, amala lafun, also known as cassava flour. Amala isu, this is one of the most common types of amala. Yam tubers are sliced, peeled, parboiled, dried, and milled to powder form. It's prepared with boiling water to form a thick paste and is served with any desired dish. Amala ogede. This type of amala is made from dry, unripe plantain. The plantain is harvested, peeled, sliced, dried, and milled to a powder form. It's prepared by mixing with boiling water until it forms a thick paste and it's served with any desired dish of your choice. Amala lafun. Amala lafun is the type of amala that is made from dry cassava flour. Cassava flour, when dried, fermented, and flaky, can also be eaten as gari, which is used in preparing eba, another common dish in Nigeria. The texture of amala is soft, smooth, and slightly elastic with a distinct earthly flavor. The distinct earthly taste is the reason why it cannot be eaten alone without serving with soup or stews. In Nigeria, amala is not just food. It is a cultural identity. It is a symbol of the Yoruba tribe and it's often served at important events such as weddings and funerals. Well, you might be wondering, how do we make amala? Grab a seat, let's walk you down its easy process. First of all, we need a large pot which will be used to boil water until it reaches the rolling boiling point. Secondly, a scooping spoon. You will need this to serve the food in sizable portions. And lastly, a spatula. It's very, very important. It is used to roll and knead the amala into a dough. And now to the making process. Step 1, bring the water to a rolling boil. Step 2, turn down the heat to medium and stir in the yam flour, cassava flour as quickly as possible to prevent lumps until it becomes dough. Step 3, scrape down the sides of the pot, add a splash of water, then cover and let it cook for about 5 minutes. Step 4, stir again and add more water if needed until the amala becomes sticky, light, and elastic. Lastly, step 5, serve with your yummy choice of soup or stew. Easy, right? And now to its health benefit. Amala is rich in potassium, magnesium, dietary fiber, calcium, and carbohydrate. It has low cholesterol. It will help you lose weight if you take it in moderation. It is rich in iron and, like I said, carbohydrate. It has high dietary fiber that will help flush toxin out of your body. Vitamin A in amala lowers inflammation, helps in brain formation, and improves eyesight. Lastly, it is lightweight and has high water content, making it easy to digest. That's a wrap for today. Do well to make yours. Bye.
Oh, thank you so very much, Sharon Ajay, for bringing us taste and texture this Friday. For those of you who are huge fans of amala, like I am, you know where to turn now and how to get around it, don't you? Okay, I'm not so sure Juma is a huge fan. Yes, she is, but she has a different approach to it, which she probably will teach us one of these days. But we are being joined live from River State, Port Harcourt, Port Harcourt, River State capital via Zoom by Caribe Mina, public affairs commentator. Caribe, it's a pleasure to have you join us on the show this morning.
Good morning to you. I'm happy to join.
Thank you. So we're just going to raise the curtain basically by looking at concerns around insecurity across this country, even though we know for the most part, everybody wants to talk about the Northeast and the Northwest. But we do understand that several cities, several communities across Nigeria today cannot categorically be said to be safe. How exactly would you say we are handling this issue?
Just like you put it, Nigeria can hardly be said to be safe. Even Abuja, where you are broadcasting from, we have seen turbulence of insecurity virtually everywhere. Though somewhere that has been said to be relatively safe is Lagos State, because a few days ago the governors celebrated 4 years of no armed robbery and all that. But generally, in the northeast, northwest, southeast, it has been boiling points of different groups from ISWAP to Boko Haram to headsmen to different agitators. Either they are killing people, they're killing any public official. There's a distortion. Ritualists are operating, armed robbery, banditry. They have destabilized. In fact, Nigeria is presently a destabilized state. That is the fact of the matter. It is totally destabilized. The farmers cannot go to farm. People cannot freely travel on the highways. And we just look at these figures, and it's about the wars around the world. People look at the global fragile index. If you look at different figures that are coming up, even those one-ton areas like Israel and Hamas and even Ukraine, Russia, they produce less deaths, less displaced people than Nigeria itself. Nigeria have produced more deaths from internal insecurity issues. So it's a precarious situation, and we just wish for the best, because this is why there's a nation. A nation is established to preserve lives, to ensure security, to ensure stability, to see that the structures and the system is stable, and to guarantee a level of peace. That's a nation. But any nation that cannot ensure this is said to be failing or called a failed state. So we have a new government, and some people may say 7 months is too early to begin to take
It will appear we're losing stream with Caribbean, but he just highlighted a few points, trying to talk about the different kinds of, the insecurity that we have in this country, whether it's banditry or kidnapping. You mentioned ISWAP, terrorism, and so on and so forth. Again, that's again just highlights the evolution of this monster. We understand our guest is back up now. So you were making a point, very salient, but I want to take you back to the government of former President Muhammadu Buhari. We saw this series of meetings that the former head of state, if you like, had held with defense chiefs time and again. Then at a point, there were vehement calls for these service chiefs to be relieved of their jobs, and for the most part, Nigerians at that point had said the idea was to find new insights, find new methods, bring in fresh blood, new hands, and so on and so forth. Of course, at the twilight of his government, the president, the former president now, he did actually hearken to the voice of Nigerians. However, that effort didn't seem to have paid off much, because it became as they say, same old kind of situation. My question to you, Caribbean, is, in your own candid assessment, don't you think Nigerians, and indeed Nigeria as a country, are leaving the fight against insecurity altogether to the armed forces? Is that the way to go?
Like you call them, they are the armed forces. Nigeria is a country that prohibits the carrying of arms. So, and this insecurity is an armed, violent um, um, process whereby some people have arms illegally. In Nigeria, we have so many small and medium arms coming from, they say, from Libya and all over war-torn parts of Africa. Now, we need leaders, like you said. The former president was 8 years. You know, he was brought in, if you remember, because he was a general in the army, and he's said to have fought wars for Nigeria, and it was believed that he would stop this insecurity. But he came, and for 8 years, in fact, a system that was, mostly at the northeast when he came in, is now widespread. Every region now has different insecurity threats to the nation's stability. I mean, not small insecurity that are threatening the stability of the very nation. So you talked about the president should have, the former president should have sacked the service chiefs and all that. Yes, if a person or a personnel is not performing, that is what to do, and you begin to dig in as a leader. You begin to dig in at people that can perform. But as we look at these issues, a time came when, even till now, whereby people die, and in fact, there's no statement from the president, there's no concern, no visitation by the president to the area that such large violence or such kidnappings or kidnapping of students or deaths are going on. It has become a norm now. So it's a system whereby every Nigerian should be concerned. The government should, like what your station is doing now, government should be put on their toes to understand their role. The role of government primarily is to provide security, to provide stability, to make people feel safe in their, in where that country is, in the particular geographical location. So a government, people, the president and the heads of the different organs of government, especially the executive, should be made to know that this is their role. Their role is to provide security, to be done by every news media. Let the executive begin to know their role, because actually, no country, I don't think there's any other country except for clearly defined war-torn areas in the world. You don't have such figures that will turn out in Nigeria. So you can imagine, it's a nation that's supposed to be at peace is at war. More war and more dangerous deaths figures showing out every day than even the declared war areas. So the bottom line is that, as hard as I wouldn't want to mention it, it is like we don't know, Nigeria does not know what they are doing. That's the truth. If a country can have insecurity issue to the tone that is more alarming than war-torn areas, of course, the country is just maybe just deceiving themselves, because it's better we are at war, which of all, God forbid, than to pretend that we are at peace. Yet we are at more war situation than the supposed war areas. So I think we need leadership. We need to settle leadership, that leadership question, both politically and in security matters in Nigeria. We need, more security, more information-driven security. A security system that can lead insecurity at the board. That can solve the situation before they get out of hand. So that is what we need now. We need this because every day is getting worse. Every day is getting worse. I was looking at the particular figure that said Nigeria has over 40,000 deaths between 2009 when Boko Haram came and now, which of course, if you look at Israel Hamas, or which Israel has entered the Hamas territory killing people, Hamas government still put the figures at less than 20,000. So we see that we need salvaging. Actually, Nigeria needs salvaging so that the different regions can begin to live at peace and enjoy good governance.
All right, Mr. Karibi, I have a question to ask for most Nigerians. I know 7 months is too early for us to act or judge regards the service chiefs. Do you think they're making this effort in tackling security as we speak? Do you think there's like, okay, let's give them a little bit of kudos? Are they making effort when it comes to places in the northeast and places all around? Do you think they're actually making effort? I know they're new in office, or would you say that?
Yeah, if I would say the truth, so that everybody should, buckle up properly, I would score them below average. This is because when the security outfit, like the military or the joint military forces, are getting it right, you see it from their output. The recent output whereby they got, let me call it, error intel, whereby they went to bomb a village in Kaduna that killed, almost 200 people. The figures are put minimal about 100 or thereabout, but other figures later showing up. So you see that there's still a lot of disconnect. And when security is not about guns, it's about information, it's about intelligence, it's about being faster than those people that want to attack. So, but when we get these things wrongly, of course, the results show. And from the results we have on ground, we don't have any basis to score this government. I mean, their attempts so far, we don't have any basis to score them high, because when the military themselves are bombing the citizens, we talk less of the insurgents and others doing their own activities. In fact, as at yesterday, we even read of foreigners, Cameroonian commandos, attacking a certain village in Cross River State. Is it the one? Several attacks, even yesterday, 2 days ago. So the attacks have not abated. So we cannot say they are even working. I'm sorry to say this. You cannot say they are working because the attacks have not abated. We are even seeing new ones. Cameroon, they have never attacked us. Now, some miscreants from Cameroon just enter a village, set a village ablaze, in a Nigerian village. So the story is still as it were. That is the fact we have on ground.
Taking our time to talk to us this morning, you shared those invaluable insights on insecurity in the country. Thank you, and we hope you have a great weekend ahead of you.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to always join you. And yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break, everyone, and we'll continue this conversation around insecurity because it's a long, drawn-out conversation.
Yes, it is.
And there are still several angles, several factors in it that we still haven't looked at. And as we move on into the show this morning, we'll take a look at all of those. We'll take a quick break, everyone. Up next will be the Global Morning News.
So this was so emotional.